Welcome to Drunk 3PO. If you like this stuff, do what you do. Like, subscribe. I just want to have a little talk here with my people, with my subscribers, with you about Lucasfilm. This article was dropped today by Forbes magazine where it says, should The Rise of Skywalker be the final and last Star Wars film? And it really got me thinking. If you didn't know, the D&D brothers, they left the Star Wars project. They rushed Game of Thrones because they said they had to get working on Star Wars. And now they're like, I'm good. We're going to go to Netflix instead. And so even Kathleen Kennedy came out and threw a little shade, I think. She goes, well, if they ever not get so busy, maybe they can come back to Star Wars. Who knows? But this is a pattern with Lucasfilm. It's a pattern that they can't keep directors, that they hire directors, they fire directors, and they hire directors, and then the directors leave. And this is a pattern with the leadership here at Lucasfilm. The article goes on to say that Kathleen Kennedy probably shouldn't chase after people who are, quote, flavors of the month, that had breakout movies, that did box office numbers in their movies. But then it's just crazy. You get them through a project, and then you fire them. The article did say this. It says that the easiest director to work with out of all of them were, guess what? You guessed it, Rian Johnson. And he goes on to say that's probably why they gave Rian Johnson a trilogy so quickly, because they didn't have any issues with him. He made his movie and was done with the movie and got the movie out, and I guess there was no reshoots and there was no, complaining. There was no this, there was no that. And so look what we got. Look what we got in The Last Jedi. But this is just a constant recurring thing happening in Lucasfilm, and I think it's time for new leadership. Probably was time a while ago, but for me, reading these things now where we're having articles saying probably shouldn't be any more Star Wars. Kathleen Kennedy probably shouldn't be just making snap judgments on directors and writers. Maybe you should get some things organized. You got directors and writers saying, I'd rather go work on this than Star Wars. I'd rather do something else than be in this camp. Going back and begging JJ to come back and do 9. Please, JJ, here, blank check. Just finish this trilogy. We got to get it done. Maybe you should sit down with some people that actually know what's going on and write everything down. And what's so funny to me is you have many people saying, but I think Kathleen Kennedy's doing a wonderful job. How? How can you say this when there's just this mess that is coming? And people are like, but The Mandalorian's coming. All right, get that. All we got is 2 trailers that were good. 2 trailers that were good. But I remember being so in love with the trailers from The Last Jedi that were good. Just saying. We will judge The Mandalorian on its own merit when it comes out in November. But it's just time. I just can't believe we live in a time where people would rather do something else than Star Wars. And then with all the reports coming out, Kathleen Kennedy, you get a trilogy. You get a trilogy. If I get, you get a movie. Hey, you get a movie. You get this. You get that. And I think it's time. I think it's time to hit the flush button. Just flush this whole thing. Revamp. Start over. You can start with Galaxy's Edge. Let's just turn it into something that we know and begin to work itself out through that. It's an easy fix. It's an easy fix. Go down to your local Barnes and Nobles, to the science fiction section, and they'll see all these Star Wars books. Get a piece of gum and throw it and let it stick on something. There you go. Many of those books are absolutely amazing. Some not so much, but many of them are amazing, and at least will give us something to work on if you continue to make Star Wars films. So what's next for Lucasfilm? Because Rian Johnson was easy to work with, is she just going to say, here, hurry up, just get this trilogy done. We need another trilogy. We've already promised the stockholders and shareholders. We spent almost $4 billion. We got to make some more money here. Get some movies out here. Or are they just going to sit back and go, Let's just work on the streaming and make some changes. So for me, reading that article was actually disheartening, because for someone who loves Star Wars and who would love to see good Star Wars on the big screen, would love to see good Star Wars on the big screen every single year. I would not get fatigue if it was good Star Wars. To come to a point where people are questioning, maybe you should just stop. If we've come to that point, then maybe Disney needs to look at Lucasfilm and say, maybe we just do a complete overhaul and start over. Let me know in the comment sections below. Drunk 3PO, till next time.